As a Warriors fan, I must admit it again. After being beat by this guy so many times, that playoff series was nice. When the Dubs, I think they swept the Nuggets because this man just keeps destroying us. And I think it's a really interesting phenomena that Nikola Jokic is one of the only players in the NBA who I believe is extremely underrated yet overrated in the same scenario, because to most casual fans, they don't even regard him as the best in the league or on top of the league when he's clearly on top of the NBA. And to the media regards this man as if he's literally a monster, as if he's a superhero. He's not as good as Brian Windhorst says he is. If you would have watched Brian Windhorst talking about Nikola Jokic, you'd go watch the game and you'd be thinking this man's about to drop 70, 15, and 35. He's not that good. And I think the media does this because they're trying to appeal to this audience and make it seem like they're being inclusive, when I actually think it's more disrespectful by overrating players. And I think the way that the media speaks about Jokic, when casual fans actually go watch him, it makes them think, oh my goodness, these people are out of their minds. They're trying to push these European players. They're not as good as they're saying. And so then they take that and they're like, oh, you know what? We're just going to look at every single Jokic game and pick at him. And I think that is imbalance. It's like communism. It's just gonna make everything imbalanced, right? So generally speaking, if we were to just let it be capitalism and we were to just let it ride and we just let these players go on auto and just let it do what it do, no system, I would say that Jokic, man, he would get a lot of more respect, because this man is really on top of the league. He's averaging 26, 12, and 9. He's almost averaging a triple-double as a center. People don't talk about how phenomenal this is. I mean, Russell Westbrook nearly averaged a triple-double as a point guard, and people were saying that he was possibly the greatest point guard of all time. All this crazy talking about he's better than Steph Curry all time, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but I think Jokic deserves those same compliments because he's doing it, and he's a center. It's so tough to be able to average nearly 10 assists as a center. He's averaging 9.1, 9.2. And I mean, over the last 3 games, I mean, the man's had a 20, 15, and 15 game. I mean, it's just ridiculousness what Jokic is able to accomplish on a basketball court. And they had a segment on First Take where they were talking about who's the most feared player in the NBA. And obviously, I think most casual fans' mind would immediately go to Steph. My mind goes to Steph. I think Steph is, in general, the most feared player in the NBA. But NBA GMs are going to circle Jokic. And why is that? Because he does not get tired. He doesn't get tired. He's going to back you down. He's always going to make the right play. I mean, you give that man some shooters, and this man can just make a team a dynasty. I think the Nuggets might go back-to-back this year. And I don't think there's anything stopping them from winning 4 in a row, because you have Jokic and he never gets tired. It's because he's never redlining. He's never giving he's probably giving 60% of his effort on the court. He's never gonna redline because he needs that down the stretch so he can always make the right play. He never redlines. He's not gonna try to go dunk. He's not gonna speed boost. He's never gonna do that. He's quite literally just going to do whatever it takes to get the right shot in that play. There's a plethora of players who cannot accomplish that. There's a plethora of players who their ego would get in the way of them literally just giving enough to get a good shot on the play. Jokic just gives that much, and it allows him to have this longevity in games. You can talk about having longevity like LeBron, to your 38, 39, whatever, how old he is, almost 40, right? But to be able to have longevity every single game is more important. It's more impactful. To be able to be at the same level or even better than when you started at the end of the game, and to not have any points in the game where you just weren't doing well. And just be able to go at that same pace and then even able to elevate it in the fourth quarter. That is special, and that's what makes him so great. That's why people are afraid of him. That's why NBA teams don't want to play this man, because you gave him a few shooters and he's got a team that's looking like the prime Warriors. He's got them looking like that because he's their best player. Everything's going through him, and he never gets tired. He's never gonna miss the guy cutting to paint. He's never gonna miss his shooter MPJ out in the 3-point line. He's never gonna miss that. He's never gonna shoot the 3-point shot because they gave it to him when the guy's open, but they're trying to like block it off and not make it seem like that the defense is. He's never gonna miss that because he's never so tired. He's never like redlining. He's only giving like 60-70%. And he's able to stretch that out. That's what makes him so great. That's why he's a center able to average nearly a triple-double. That's why he's on top of the league. It's because he literally just cares about winning. And I wouldn't even say it's about winning. I think he just understands the game of basketball so much to where he literally is just trying to get the best shot. It's not about him. It's not about, making people see that he can average 35 like in fraud. In fraud is going to give you 12 free throws a game, right? But he's not even looking for all that. He's just taking what the defense gives him. And he's mastered that. He's mastered the art of taking what the defense gives him. I was watching a video of myself a very long time ago. I was really young. And I was talking about Nikola Jokic, and it was a very low quality video. If you can find it, props to you. And I said something very interesting. This was a couple years ago. I said that Nikola Jokic had mastered the dark arts of basketball. It's the funniest thing. I said that he had mastered the dark arts of basketball. I don't know why I said that. And I think I was talking about the fact that he, sometimes would put his arms all the way above his heads and just shoot it. And nobody could block it, and he would make it. I thought it was just so funny. And I came on there and I said something like, I think I said something along the lines of, it's something we don't know about him. That's what I said. I said it's something we don't know about Nikola Jokic because he's done something that you can't do. You can't just put the ball above your head and then just shoot it in the rim. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And it really stands today because he plays in a way nobody else does. And that's why he's not the face of the league. And he'll never be the face of the league. But he's on top of the NBA right now. There's a pyramid. I don't think he's the best player in the NBA. I think he's the second. Personally, I believe Luka Doncic is the best player in the NBA this season. Right? But Nikola Jokic is on top of the league. Right? He's the most feared player. Like in the playoffs, he's the most accomplished. He's more accomplished than Luka. I'm more content saying he's on top of the league. Because, how can you stop Jokic? He never gets tired. You can put a big body on him, but you're just giving him the ability to pass. I think the best way to guard Jokic is to step off him. But if you step off him, he's going to make the right play. If you give him a shot, he's going to shoot it. And then you would even be anticipating that he was going to pass it because you backed off him. And since you've done that, you've kind of sagged off one player. And then you said, okay, you know what? Now we know he's going to shoot it. He's still going to pass it. I probably explained that totally wrong. But what I'm trying to say is he's going to do what you anticipate he will do. Think about this. This is deep. He's going to do what you would anticipate that he would do after you decided that it was too good to be true. I'm dropping bombs. He's still going to do it after you made a logical calculation. You said, okay, he's going to do that. And then after that, you said, but there's no way he actually does that because that's too good to be true. And then he'll actually do it. He's never redlining. It's logic. Like it's nothing too crazy about it. It's just he's never so tired to where his body is forcing him to do what his mind tells him isn't logical. Like he's gonna do the right thing every play. And it's what makes him great. And this is the guy that puts up 50-point games in the playoffs. The guy is just never redlining. He gets the best in the fourth quarter. That's why his averages are up and down. He might have a 40-point, well, he usually doesn't have those, but he might have a 35-point game, 33-point game, then have a 15-point game, right? Why is that the case? Because he takes what the defense gives you, right? And it's just special to watch, man. It's just special to watch. Like I say, I don't think he's the best player in the NBA. But I think Luka's there, and I think he's number 2. I think last year he was. So far this season, I think Luka is the best player in the league. But he's on top of the league, is what I'm saying. Jokic is on top of the NBA. You can't stop Jokic because he never gets tired, because he's never giving so much to where it would make him tired. Most NBA players could do that. Most NBA players have the body, because there's no way you're saying Jokic is more fit than the average guy in the league, right? He's not. But most players are, their ego is so inflated that they're just going to give so much effort in every single play so they can, meet the narrative or even meet their own generalization of what they do on the basketball court. But Jokic is just, his body getting tired, he never gets tired enough to where his body's doing things that his mind doesn't say is logical. So yeah, man, he's on top of the league. That's kind of a rant about Jokic, man. But I wonder when we're gonna put him in those conversations for like greatest center of all time. I mean, he's not there yet, no. But I think he might miss out on those conversations just because the other guys in those conversations have something he doesn't, which is American excitement. And basketball, NBA basketball is American. You have the European guys coming over, but it consists of America. And America guys, when they're looking at a great player, they're going to refer to other guys who play a certain way. So I think that might hinder him, at least on the Stephen A stage, right? But I wonder when he's going to get in those conversations because, when you put people in the GOAT debate, like I put Curry in the GOAT debate, I don't think he's there. But, I mean, he's in the debate. Like, you think of the GOATs of basketball, I think you would think of Steph. You would think of Kobe. All these guys, they do something great. It's like Steph is the greatest shooter, right? LeBron is the greatest. He's a jack of all trades. He's the greatest in all things. Like, Jordan is just a killer. Like, Kobe was different. Kobe was just a basketball player. He was the most skilled. Like, he's just a basketball player, right? Jokic is the greatest passing center of all time, probably the smartest center of all time, and he probably has the greatest game longevity of a center of all time. So, like, when does he get in those conversations? I'm a Warriors fan, man, and I'm tired of this man beating us. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. But you got to give a man props when he deserves it. And, yeah, man, I guess that's my rant for the day. I'm kind of tired, so I'm just, going to edit this video, post it for you guys tonight, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Last video did really well. Shout out to everybody. The view duration was at like 6 minutes almost. So you guys watched it all the way through, which I appreciate. I didn't do the most numbers, but it's one of my better videos. So, yeah, if you made it this far, shout out to you. And, yeah, as for me, man, I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. And, yeah, peace out.